Be the tech center for a brand new tour that's going out. We'd love to do this a lot more. Like the producer said, we're in a great spot here in the middle of the country to do that.
It's beginning to look like a white Christmas. A Broadway show prepares for their upcoming nationwide tour here in Bowling Green.
From WBKO, your hometown news leader, this is 13 News at 4.
Hey there, everyone. Thanks again for joining us here on 13 News at 4. I'm Madison Martin.
And I'm Shane Holliday. It's beginning to feel a little like Christmas outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, not looking like that maybe on a stage, on a set, and we're excited to talk more about that later on in the show. But, yeah, that kind of cold, wintry mixed precipitation. What's happening here, Shane?
Well, we've got rain moving out. And yes, there is snow in the forecast, and not tonight.
Okay.
But it would be cold enough for it tonight if moisture was still around, because wind chills are going to plummet into the teens. Actual temperatures are going to plummet into the 20s later on. It's already getting colder by the hour. Rain, though, is on its way out of the picture. There's Doppler Max. What's left of the rain now from Columbia down toward Barren River Lake, and then farther southwest into Scottsville. All east of I-65 and all will continue to move away from Bowling Green. We will dry out tonight, but the cold will take over as the story for the remainder of the evening and heading on into early Friday. There's a live look at our AAA Systems weather cam. We can see a little bit better out toward the campus of WKU now as the rain has slackened off here in town. Headlights on the cars. And, of course, it will be getting dark pretty soon. Temperature now at 43 degrees, and it feels like 38 when you throw in that northerly wind at 8 miles an hour. Humidity in here at 86%. There's Edmonton. Clouds and still some light rain in your vicinity there over in Metcalfe County with temperatures in the 40s. 43 for Somerset, 55 down in Knoxville, but that's the warm spot on the map now. Look how cold it is to the north. Evansville already down to 36 degrees, 38 for Paducah with north winds taking over. We are 20 degrees colder now than at this point a day ago. Remember, we had highs in the upper 60s yesterday. A far cry from that today as that cold front is now working its way into the deep south. Showers along it from D.C., State College, PA, all the way down into Nashville, and then farther south into Louisiana. That front continues to press to the south. Colder air will filter on in here tonight. And look at these temperatures across the northern plains. 17 in International Falls, 20 in Medford, Wisconsin. And you throw in the wind, and you get a wind chill of 9 above there, a wind chill of 7 in International Falls. This is a cold air mass, and it is spilling our way for tonight on into Friday. Some of the coldest air of the season on tap, at least with this first shot of colder air. Then we warm back up for the weekend. In fact, the weekend's actually looking pretty decent, especially Sunday. You'll want to enjoy it because by early next week, we've got a shot of air that's even colder rolling in here that could be record cold, in fact, for Tuesday. And yes, there's a possibility for some snow in the forecast. We'll check it out in that 7-day. First at 4, coming up in just a few minutes. Madison?
Shane, today Bowling Green police are continuing to look for 2 men after a gas station was robbed last night. It happened at the Gulf gas station on Morgantown Road around 11 p.m. Police say 2 men entered the building and threatened the clerk with handguns. The clerk did comply and was thankfully not injured. One of the suspects was wearing a gray hoodie while the other wore a black one. If you have any information, you can contact Bowling Green Police at 270-393-4000. Over in Tompkinsville, though, 2 people have been arrested following a burglary off of Napier Street. Kentucky State Police were responding to the complaint yesterday evening, and they then headed over to Patterson Street after learning that Jonathan Coe was allegedly trying to sell a gun that matched the description of a stolen item. When he got there, police say Coe fled on foot and tried to get rid of the pistol before surrendering. Police say they also found suspected meth on Coe. He was arrested along with Dylan Turner later that evening for allegedly being complicit in the burglary. Moving on now to how Veterans Day is just a few days away, and Congressman Brett Guthrie was on hand for a special event honoring locals who served this afternoon. Charter Communications honored local vets through the Take a Veteran to School Day outreach initiative. Guthrie joined members of Bowling Green's VFW 2198 at Potter Gray Elementary School, who spoke to students about what it's like to serve in the military. The event served as a thank you for their service.
And so it's good that our young people can see men and women, today men, but men and women who wear the uniform, who served, who made sure that they have the opportunities to go to schools like this. And
Charter Communications presented Bowling Green's VFW 2198 with a $5,000 donation. And the rain didn't stop any veterans from getting out on the racetrack today for the annual Vets and Vets event. Veterans from across the country made their way to Bowling Green for the 3-day event, which has been going on for 11 years annually. Those participating made it around the track in their iconic cars, charting at speeds of 60 miles per hour.
So we are having our Vets and Vets event here at NCM Motorsports Park, where we have drivers who sometimes are often veterans themselves come out here and volunteer their time, their car, their gas to take other veterans on track here at Motorsports Park.
And you can catch the veterans driving their Corvettes all decked out on Saturday for the Veterans Parade happening in downtown Bowling Green. Some other stories we've been working on today. For the first time, a Broadway show has decided to have their Tech Week in Bowling Green before hitting the road and traveling around the United States. The cast and crew of White Christmas has been at SkyPack all week rehearsing and getting ready for their show in Bowling Green. After that, they'll be taking off for their tour. From building the stage to the lights, hair, and costumes, this Tech Week makes sure everything is ready to go. And SkyPack hopes to continue to host more Broadway production Tech Weeks in the future. Coming up on 13 News at 5, you can hear from the owner and producer of Worklight Productions about why they chose to come to Bowling Green. Also today, students at Jennings Creek Elementary School have been working on coding projects since September and held a showcase to show off those projects. The students have been working on a choose your own adventure game coding program that's science or social studies related. They're given certain guidelines but get to use their creativity to build and design each adventure game from scratch. All grades at the school work on coding projects. The younger students use iPads and the older ones use Chromebooks.
They choose their main sprite, and then they have blocks for motion, for sound, for backgrounds, and they're able to choose what character sprite they want, and then all of the other blocks are like scripted, so you can tell your sprite how many spaces to move, if you want it to move up, to move down, to make a noise.
Well, we have to start with backdrops and sprites, and we basically have to code them to be able to move and to sense colors and move.
And teachers say their students have fun using the coding program, and they see more engagement from students when they're learning coding. Next semester, the school will be expanding on STEM education, and the students will be working with robotics. Well, you know Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but today is the launching of yet another way to get in on some good deals. Hang tight for consumer stories. That's next. And as the conversation continues following the gubernatorial election this week, more commentary from exiting Lieutenant Governor and Bowling Green local Janine Hampton on the future.
You're watching 13 News at 4.
We got a few phone calls about the social media pick of the day yesterday. In fact, it was about this time when we saw this, which looked like a funnel cloud, but was actually a rain shaft. That picture taken by Casey, sent to our own Justin Hobbs. Thanks, Casey, for sending us that picture, and you too can do the same. Anything weather related, fall foliage is still out there. Send it to us at Facebook or Twitter. There's Doppler Max taking the rain now out of Bowling Green. It continues to move to the south and to the east, heading into the Cumberland Plateau of Tennessee and also the mountains of eastern Kentucky. Temperatures now down to the 30s in our northern counties. E-Town at 38, so is Hodgenville, so is Litchfield. We're holding on to 42 in Bowling Green, but with that north wind, it already feels like the 30s here, and it is 39 down the road in Russellville. For tonight, grab the heavy jacket if you're heading out the door. At least you won't need the umbrella at this point, at least not in Bowling Green anyway. Clouds will thin out, especially after midnight, but as that happens, temperatures will tumble all the way down into the frigid 20s, and with the north wind, it could feel like the upper teens at times late tonight into tomorrow morning. It's going to be a cold start for our Friday for sure. We will see some recovery in the readings over the weekend, and that will be followed by more cold air next week. Your forecast on the way in just a few.
Shane, I don't know what's your favorite day for shopping, but of course there's already Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. And now there's a new retail holiday to tell you all about, and it's kicking off today. Still time to get in on it. As Brian Maloney reports, for the first time ever, Cashback Day is making its debut.
The holiday shopping calendar is getting busier. Add Cashback Day into the mix. For 24 hours starting Thursday, November 7th, hundreds of retailers are offering up to 20% cash back on purchases. That includes online giants like Amazon, Expedia, and Overstock.com, and stores like Home Depot, Macy's, and Bass Pro Shops. The event was created by the online coupon site Retail Me Not. It is touted as a way to get your holiday shopping done sooner and get a nice payout before the last-minute shopping rush. Here's how it works. You create an account on Retail Me Not, shop from the list of retailers, and then your cash back is paid 45 days later via PayPal or Venmo. This event aims to rival Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. Retailers taking part are hoping this new shopping holiday will attract shoppers early in the season and motivate them to come back and buy again later. Retail Me Not says Cashback Day will be celebrated the first Thursday of November moving forward. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Your local stocks of interest, sponsored by Jason Claycomb of Raymond James Financial Services, your retirement resource. Follow us on Facebook. First Alert Weather, sponsored by MedCenter Health.
Lots of gusts of cold air coming through in our area, right, Shane?
Yeah, the taste of January at that. And that's the time of year where our normal highs are in the low to middle 40s. That's what we've got to look forward to on Friday. At least we're going to have the sunshine back in here. So
that can help a little bit. I've got some sunglasses right here for that sunshine. Is this too much, or can I? Yes.
No, that will be appropriate for tomorrow. Yes.
Yes, that's what I need to hear, Shane. That's absolutely what I need to hear. But lawn sleeves, that will help as well.
Yeah, and
you're going to need that.
Coats are going to be needed for tomorrow as well. In fact, you probably already need them now as temperatures are getting colder by the hour. There's Doppelmax, the light rain left over in our eastern counties. That is on its way eastward now, moving through Columbia down to Tompkinsville. Rain has just ended for you in Glasgow. It has come to an end in Bowling Green, and drier air will win out as we move into the evening. Look at the camera jostling about here. This is our Wingate Hotel AAA Systems webcam looking at Scottsville Road traffic. Kind of breezy out there, and of course the blustery winds adding to that chill. 43 is the airport reading, but it feels like 38 with that north wind in here at 8 miles an hour and humidity at 86%. Barron River Lake, you're now down to 41 degrees. Rain has just ended for you there around Narrows Marina, and showers now extend from West Virginia, Elkins down toward Pikeville, Kentucky, all the way down into Birmingham as the cold front continues to march its way to the south. And unseasonably cold air behind it with temperatures now in the 30s for Indianapolis, 28 in Chicago, and upper teens in parts of Minnesota right now, and that's not even including the wind chill. This air mass will continue to filter on in here tonight through tomorrow, drying us out and clearing us out. Look at the readings tomorrow morning down to the middle 20s for most folks. Yeah, the coats, you will need those heading to work and school on Friday. Temperatures tomorrow are going to struggle just to crack the 40-degree mark, even with full sunshine expected. Saturday is going to dawn cold for the deer hunters, and then Saturday afternoon, at least things begin to warm up. And actually, this is 10 a.m. Saturday we're looking at here, around the time of the Veterans Day Parade in Bowling Green. It will be chilly, but at least it will be dry with sunshine. We should go back into the 50s Saturday, 60 by Sunday, and enjoy that because more cold air is going to dive in here early next week. Speaking of the cold, FutureMax takes the wind chills down to the upper teens tomorrow morning with that north wind. And even during the day tomorrow, we'll have feels like readings ranging from the upper 20s to lower 30s. A little taste of January here in the middle of November. Tomorrow's high, only 43 with sunshine. At least we get that back. Then down to a cold 23 tomorrow night. 52 on Saturday, up to 60 Sunday. Enjoy that because we'll have a chance for light rain, perhaps ending as light snow Monday as temperatures fall there down to 20 Monday night. Only 33 Tuesday. That could be a record cold high. 16 Tuesday night, and then slow warming as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. Know the weather by downloading the First Alert Weather app. Madison?
Shane, continuing that conversation of Kentucky's gubernatorial election that ousted Republican Matt Bevin, the Libertarian Party of Kentucky is saying they believe they took votes from both Bevin and Beshear and say had Bevin not parted ways with Lieutenant Governor Janine Hampton, they may have not run a candidate at all. Today, Hampton was at a Veterans Day event in Oldham County. She did speak with reporters on her time in office. When asked about her relationship with Governor Bevin, she said there are no hard feelings.
Certainly, this is not how I would have scripted my last year in office, but I know the Lord is working to do something. So I have no plans. I would go wherever the Lord leads me, no matter how difficult that is and how much of an uphill battle it may seem. And I pray it's service, and I pray it's service to Kentucky's youth.
Hampton will leave office in just a few weeks after the next Lieutenant Governor, Jacqueline Coleman, is sworn in. For those who are currently serving in our military as well as veterans, you're being welcomed to discount lodging at state parks throughout the state. Kentucky State Park says the USA military discount is available for lodging through March 31st. The rates are good at a majority of the Commonwealth's resort parks, although there is a $5 upcharge at parks like Barren River and Cumberland Falls. With that discount, lodge rooms start at about $60 a night, with one-bedroom cottages at about $80 an evening. This one's interesting. A woman says her cab driver refused to stop watching TV while behind the wheel. The passenger recorded the ride in a Chicago area suburb on Tuesday, documenting the driver's apparent defiance. Charlie DeMar has that story.
From the back seat of a blue cab company car cruising towards Orland Park Tuesday, Tara Hine is recording her bumpy ride.
I asked you to put the phone down while I'm in your car. I feel unsafe.
Hine started recording after the driver was apparently more interested in binge-watching TV shows than keeping her eyes on the road.
The driver got in the expressway and she pulled out her telephone and was watching Netflix on it.
Look out the car window. You can see them hauling down the expressway while a show is apparently playing on the driver's phone.
I let her know I didn't feel safe, and I asked her to put the phone away, which she did for a few seconds.
Get the camera out my damn face. Have you lost your damn mind?
You just swung at me, really?
No, I didn't swing at you.
Oh, I'm calling the police now for sure.
What? Get out. Why you calling the police? Get out.
No, I'm waiting for the police to come. You're not leaving me
Get out of my car. Get out. Get the out. Get out of my car.
She caught me recording her, and then she turned around, and then she swung at me.
That's all you gotta do is report me. That's it. That's all I asked you to do. Report me. That's it. Hey, why are you recording?
Over the phone, a blue cab company employee said the dispute was due to Hine and the driver disagreeing on which show to watch together.
That defense is absolutely ridiculous. I do have my own Netflix account.
So we stopped by to get a further explanation.
We called a little bit earlier about an incident with one of the drivers yesterday about watching videos.
Nothing about it.
Okay.
You know what time it is?
I do.
Yeah, good. Our owner is gone.
Okay, I've been trying to get a hold of him though.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You need to call when he's here.
I did, and that's why we're here now.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
No clue.
Okay, about a driver watching videos?
I have no clue.
Do you know if the driver was...
I wasn't working when it happened. I'm not the owner. I don't know anything.
Got it. Do you know if the driver was disciplined or...
I don't know anything.
Yeah, just like I'm looking down there.
Back in the car, Hine tried getting some answers for herself.
Should you be watching TV while you're transporting medical patients at all?
Yeah.
You should be?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Because your nosy want to know. That's why.
We asked the company the same thing, and you can guess the response.
Is it policy? Are the drivers allowed to watch videos while taking passengers?
You have to talk to the owner. Why is this difficult? Bye.
Okay.
And the passenger plans to file a police report about that incident. Of course, it's against the law in Illinois to use a cell phone or text while driving. More than 2,000 cases of vaping-related lung injuries have now been reported in the U.S., and 39 deaths have been confirmed. That's according to new numbers released this week by the CDC. They say the outbreak has affected every state except Alaska, and young people make up the majority of those impacted. Health experts are warning the public to stop all e-cigarette use as they continue to investigate exactly what's behind the illnesses and deaths. But most of the cases have been related to vaping products that contain THC, that psychoactive ingredient that's found in marijuana. An alarming medical mishap in Oklahoma where police say 10 people were accidentally given insulin instead of the flu shot. Last night, Bartlesville police say they got a call about one unresponsive person, but when they arrived on scene, that wasn't the case. Multiple patients at a facility called the Jacqueline House, which serves individuals with intellectual disabilities, needed help. Police say the scene was chaotic.
People are symptomatic, laying on the ground, needing to help, but can't communicate what they need.
Investigators say a pharmacist of 40 years was contracted to give these patients flu shots, but somehow the syringes were filled with insulin. Fortunately, everyone turned out okay, but officials say the patients will have to stay at the hospital for a few days. And children with no siblings may be at a higher risk for a common health condition, obesity. A new study says they researched and compared 27 only children along 41 children who have siblings and determined children without a brother or sister had less healthy eating behaviors. The CDC says childhood obesity is most prevalent among 12 to 19-year-olds. And while the study doesn't provide answers on just why only children are more likely to be overweight, the hope is to build on this body of research and to help make parents aware of the increased risk in an effort to prevent excess weight or obesity in children. And one last thing before we head to break. If you have a story idea or something you feel we should cover, there's an easy way to let us know. Just head on over to our website and click that Submit a Story link on the right-hand corner of the page. We'll be right back. Shane, the forecast this evening might be a little reminiscent to some of the locals out here that might be from the Chicago area. I lived out there for a little bit. Yeah. And it's known as the Windy City. It's not going to be that bad tonight, but it might be a little feeling that way.
Yeah, I like to call this the Harvard Express in honor of Gene Burke from Northern Illinois. Temperatures already down to the low 40s. At least the rain has moved on out. We're done with that in Bowling Green. Soon you will be to the east, but boy, those temperatures even tomorrow with sunshine are going to struggle into the 40s. Wind chills could be in the upper teens when you wake up tomorrow morning.
We're really excited to welcome thousands of alumni back to Bowling Green to celebrate.
Homecoming is heading to the Hill. We've got those details on how folks are already getting ready for the festivities.
From WBKO, your hometown news leader, this is 13 News at 4.
Hey there, everyone. Thanks for joining us again here on 13 News at 4. I'm Madison Martin.
And I'm Justin Hobbs.
In here today, Justin.
Yeah, a nice, cool day out there. Yes. Very fall-like for sure.
We're repping with our day. Oh my gosh, I love your tie.
Thank you.
Yes, we need like a close-up of that. But yes, we're all here supporting our Hilltoppers ahead of this weekend. Yeah. It's going to be a good one and hopefully a good temperature for it as well. Well, you tell me. You know a lot more than me.
I'm not going to give all my secrets away just yet. But yeah, we're looking for a great weekend. Yes. I like to say it's the best weekend in Bowling Green, honestly. I mean, everyone's so excited cheering on the Hilltoppers. But hey, it's been a cool day out there. Now, as far as tonight, we are shaping up for a very chilly night, you all. We're currently at 62 degrees here in Bowling Green. Across the regions has been in the 60s today, so it has definitely been a bit of a cooler day for you as you've been outside, but a lot of sunshine. Most folks in the 60s, 60 up in Evansville, down in Jackson at 63, Nashville coming in at 62 degrees. We're going to watch these temperatures tumble fairly quickly as we go into your night hours, pacing about the same as we were 24 hours ago. A little warmer, though, to the north up in Evansville and Louisville, pacing over 10 degrees warmer than they were about 24 hours ago. But again, these temperatures are going to tumble into the night with that clear sky. Dew points on the drier side. We are expecting a dry night on tap. Dew points in the 30s, so it's a very dry, pleasant air outside. Taking a look at Western Kentucky University's campus, getting ready for an exciting weekend on the Hill as we are shaping up for homecoming. Hopefully you are enjoying the celebrations, and if you are going to be outside this evening, we're currently at 62 over at the Bowling Green Airport. Wind's going to stay on the calm side for you as we go throughout the rest of your evening, dealing with clear skies, and we're going to see that throughout the evening. Even over in Edmonton, not even really a cloud in sight, just one very straight one. Currently sitting at 58 degrees though right now, including in Tompkinsville where they're at 58 degrees. Clear skies overhead. That's sticking around tonight. That's going to allow the temperature to escape fairly quick. We're going to see those temperatures cool off very quickly. 62 over in the town of Burkesville under a very clear and blue sky. I hope you're enjoying your evening. Now this clear sunshine, that's high pressure in command right now. It's going to continue to bring us some sunshine as we head throughout your day tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of clear skies. We do have to watch towards the weekend. We'll see some more clouds move in. But tonight, yes, frost could develop in some of the areas. We do have some frost advisories for some of our counties. That's coming up here soon. We'll talk about what counties could possibly see some frost, especially those low-lying areas. And what about that homecoming forecast? Is it going to be dry out there as we kick off for football and we have some strong storms to talk about as we head into early next week. That's all coming up in the 7-day forecast, and I'll have details about that. Madison?
Justin, thank you. The Franklin Police Department is asking for your help in figuring out who tried to rob the Bluegrass Cellular located on Nashville Road. Police say the person in the screen mask wearing an ASAP Ferg hoodie pointed a handgun at the store owner, but both men were chased from the store when that owner pulled out his own firearm. The suspects fled south on Nashville Road, and anyone with information about the case is asked to contact Detective Scott at 270-586-7167. You can also contact South Central Kentucky Crime Stoppers at 270-781-CLUE. The Kentucky Department of Public Health has released new information saying an estimated 20% of high school students have used an e-cigarette in the last 30 days. Most recently in Grayson County, 12 students became sick after using a dab pen. Health officials say the time is now to stop adults and children from vaping, and they believe the best way of doing that is through education. Grayson County schools and the health department currently have a program working with 5th grade students to teach them the dangers of nicotine and e-cigarettes. In light of the recent incident at the high school, they say they're working to add more programs.
So Red Ribbon Week is coming up, and we will be in 3 of the elementary schools locally to kind of go ahead and introduce that education as they will be transitioning to the middle school next year. And so the earlier you start the education, the healthier the habits that can be formed.
Police say 2 juveniles were charged with trafficking in a controlled substance in connection to that case. Litchfield Police and the local narcotics task force are still investigating and working to identify the source of that substance. Let's talk about homecoming now. WKU has officially kicked off their festivities for this weekend, and our 13 News reporter Allison Baker checked out the WKU Chili and Cheese Luncheon as well as their pep rally earlier this afternoon.
Western Kentucky University is kicking off their homecoming festivities a little early on Thursday with a chili and cheese luncheon that's benefiting junior achievement.
The luncheon is an annual event that has been going on for over 20 years. Each meal was $6 to purchase, and all proceeds go to junior achievement.
Chili and cheese luncheon provides funds to get volunteers into classrooms to teach junior achievement programs, and it supports several of those classroom volunteers throughout the school year.
Hilltopper fans could enjoy chili provided by Wendy's, a grilled cheese, a drink, and dessert, all for a good cause.
So today we've donated Wendy's chili. It's a cool day, so it worked out great that people would want Wendy's chili with grilled cheese. And we've been doing this for probably close to 20, maybe even over 20 years now, every year donating the chili for the event.
And those attending not only enjoyed the food, but got a pep rally to get excited for the game this weekend.
WKU will be continuing their homecoming festivities tomorrow with a parade, and we'll bring you some live coverage of that event. For now, reporting in Bowling Green, Allison Baker, 13 News.
And this year's homecoming theme is Decades of Spirit. If you're checking out the homecoming parade that's happening tomorrow or Big Red's Roar in the evening, you might want to listen up for some important changes. That's a map right there, because this year there's an entire new parade route. And Big Red's Roar will not be downtown this year, but will be held at Cherry Hall instead.
It's on the hill on State Street by the Hardin Planetarium. It will go downtown, take a left, and then we're all going to come up College Street. So I hope everybody's got their tennis shoes on and ready for a little bit of a cardio workout. So State Street and College Street if you want to see the parade tomorrow night starting at 5 o'clock.
And for a full view of the parade map and the road closures, you can check out this story on our website at WBKO.com. This story developing today, the Trump administration has announced a ceasefire agreement with Turkey, halting its incursion in northern Syria. Speaking in Turkey, Vice President Mike Pence says Kurdish-led forces will withdraw from the safe zone. Nadia Romero explains what we know about the talks between the U.S. and Turkey today.
Cameras were not allowed inside during the majority of the U.S.-Turkey ceasefire negotiations. But right after the hours-long meeting between Turkey and the U.S., Vice President Pence spoke to reporters claiming victory.
Turkey and the United States of America have agreed to a ceasefire in Syria. It will be a pause in military operations for 120 hours while the United States facilitates the withdrawal of YPG from the affected areas in the safe zone. And once that is completed, Turkey has agreed to a permanent ceasefire.
President Trump touting the deal after landing in Texas for a fundraiser and campaign rally.
This is an amazing outcome.
Vice President Pence says U.S. sanctions placed on Turkey last week will be lifted once the ceasefire becomes permanent. That could happen after Kurdish-led forces leave the safe zone.
I know it's already underway as we speak.
Turkish officials telling CNN they got exactly what they wanted out of the meeting. But later, Turkey's foreign minister saying in a press conference, quote, "This is not a ceasefire." Before the deal was announced, the House approved a resolution opposing President Trump's decision to remove U.S. troops from Syria. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying it could lead to a possible resurgence of ISIS.
Calls for the president to show a clear plan for how Americans will be protected from ISIS.
Reporting for 13 News in Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
And still to come on 13 News at 4. Next time you travel, you could take a train, plane, or automobile. But when you're up in the air, there's some stuff up there you'll want to avoid. That's in Consumer Stories. And what could have escalated even further into a frightening robbery became a moment for a marathon runner to save the day. That inspiring story from Chicago in just a bit.
You're watching 13 News at 4.
Well, it's the fall season. Many people are wondering, where's the fall colors at? They're not showing too much just yet, as a lot of those leaves were burned. But check out this shot that was sent to us of a soybean field. And you can see a little bit of that color changing as the soybeans are starting to die off. We're right in harvest season, prime time of the year. Jared Birch, thanks for sending in that picture to us. If you do see any fall colors across the region, we're on the search for them. So send us some pictures in. You can do that to our Facebook page, or you can email us those pictures. We would love to see some fall colors out there, as we have seen a dry year, or the dry past month, which has not helped with that fall color. As far as temperatures this evening, we're in the 50s and 60s. We're already watching that temperature back away, folks. We are shaping up for a fairly chilly night on tap. 59 here in Bowling Green, 60 just off to our east in Glasgow, down towards Birchville at 62 degrees. Friends up north already in the upper 50s, 58 for Hardinsburg, Elizabethtown at 59 degrees. Going into your night hours, watch how quickly. It's like a roller coaster going downhill as we go into your night. Yes, 30s for your night tonight, and we do have some counties who are under a frost advisory. We could see some frost develop, especially in those low-lying areas. We are expecting those temperatures to be fairly chilly out there, so grab that jacket if you do plan to be outdoors as we head into your evening time hours. I'll have details about what you can expect for the rest of your night, and what about that homecoming forecast? That's all coming up in the 7-day forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Justin. Boeing is taking another step toward getting its 737 MAX back in the air again. A select group of American and international pilots will try out the new software in a final round of simulator tests. The last round of testing is supposed to begin in November in Seattle, and the Federal Aviation Administration will be watching closely. Regulators want the simulator testing to determine what pilot training will be necessary to fly the planes again. Boeing hopes they can start up again early next year. As far as traveling by plane, though, research shows it's a trip that's filled with bacteria that's growing around the clock. Microbiologists went to 26 airports and tested the inside of planes to find the worst places. And if you thought the bathroom was the worst, you can flush that theory away. Taking the top spot as the germiest thing on a plane is the tray table. It's loaded with bacteria. The tray table is followed by the overhead air vent, then the flush button on the toilet, and finally the seatbelt buckle. The best way to fight those germs is a no-brainer. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds and bring some hand sanitizer.
Your local stocks of interest, sponsored by Jason Claycomb of Raymond James Financial Services, your retirement resource. Follow us on Facebook. First Alert Weather, sponsored by Med Center Health.
All right, Justin, we were talking about Wendy's chili earlier, and something else I love from Wendy's is a Frosty. I actually had one earlier today, but what else is getting a little frosty here, Justin?
Well, I'll tell you what, first, I like blizzards a little better because I like snow.
No, not time for that.
See, I'm not even
just yet.
I'm ready for some snow. Let's be real. Come on. Let's bring on snow. Who's ready for it? Come on.
Justin, crickets. We hear crickets.
I know I'm probably the only one. I have probably a few folks who are like, yes, snow. But as far as frosty, we could see some folks
definitely
see some frosty conditions as we go into your morning hours, especially. Some counties are under a frost advisory, in fact, for our night nighttime hours. That includes counties all the way down to Monroe County, riding along I-65, including Edmonson County, up to Grayson County, and finally our friends up in North Breckenridge County, and then folks to the east of there, also all under this frost advisory. That's until about 8 o'clock in the morning as you are waking up on your Friday morning. So just note that as you are headed out, that you may see some frosty conditions, and again, you might want to grab that light jacket as you're headed out the door. It's going to be a little chilly out there as you're headed out the door for your Friday. Beautiful out on Western Kentucky University's campus right now, getting ready for homecoming. Many folks back in town. We welcome you back to town, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this weekend. It's going to be a nice one on tap for us. We're talking a cool night on tap. 62 currently over at the Bowling Green Airport. Winds on the calm side. They are going to stay calm too, and you're going to see these clear skies for the rest of your night. Most folks pacing into around the 60s, so even some 50s just to our east over in Somerset, Crossville coming in at the 50s, 60s up to our north in Louisville and Evansville coming in at 60 degrees. This clear sky, that's because we have high pressure in command, and we have this cool air just coming out of the northwest. This is why we're seeing cooler conditions. We almost got a little trough. It's like a pool of cool air just sitting over us, but just to our west. Do have high pressure. That's going to keep us on the clear side as we head into the rest of your night hours. A system to watch, though, is as we head into your new work week. Not talking about the weekend. We'll get to that in a second. But as we head towards Monday, we are watching a system that comes through up front, starts making its way in as we head into your Monday morning. You'll notice it brings some showers and thunderstorms along it and moves through pretty much most of your Monday. Looks like a washout for your Monday. Some of these could be strong. We'll keep our eye out on it as it gets closer. Again, it's still several days out, but we do have that chance as we move into your Monday for some strong storms that could move through. So just be weather aware, and we're going to keep you up to date as we get closer. But as far as over the next couple of hours, a cool night again, dropping into the 30s for most folks, especially in those low-lying areas. So definitely grab a jacket before you head out the door. Heading into your Friday, a lot of sunshine in store for us. We'll go back into around the upper 60s by the time we head into 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Still going to stay into around the 60s as we head into around 4 o'clock. And then as we go into your night hours, another cool night. Then as we head into your Saturday, we're shaping up for some football weather. But you notice some moisture to our south. I don't think it's really going to quite make it. We do have a slight chance. I think your best shot is going to be to the south and east for a shower. We're only going with about 20% chance, but I think for football time, for the time for kickoff, we're under a fairly clear condition as far as the shower activity. We will see some clouds increasing. Going to be on the warmer note, 73 as the Hilltoppers take on the 49ers on Saturday. Again, 3 o'clock is your official kickoff time. Over the next 7 days, we put a very slight chance for showers for Saturday. Again, I think they're going to be very spotty, mainly to the south and east, but don't be shocked if you do see a pop-up shower. Best chance for showers is as we move into your Monday, 60%. So definitely going to be more of a washout. It's going to be windy as well, folks. We're talking winds out of the south up to 20 miles per hour. Gusts could make it to 40. We'll see some of those showers linger into our early Tuesday morning before we clear out. And then as we head into the mid part of your next week, still staying in the 60s. Madison?
Thank you, Justin. A Louisville post office has been overwhelmed by birthday cards for a soon-to-be 10-year-old who's battling cancer. He's earned the nickname Courageous Carter. His father says all Carter wanted for his birthday were those cards, and so a Facebook plea has brought in thousands of them from all over the country. Carter also received gifts from Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, and the U.S. Air Force. A very happy birthday to you, Carter. Elvis impersonator by night, KSB trooper by day. Behind this classic costume is Andre Samu, who's been in law enforcement for 40 years. He's over at KSB Post 5. This all got started when he recorded his song for fun, but it actually ended up impressing his friends, and soon he was performing on a regular basis. This was him at his finest earlier this week during a charity event for Norton Children's Hospital.
See in their eyes that they're looking at me, but they're seeing the real Elvis in their minds, and they're hearing the love songs and they're feeling the warmth of what those words mean, and that's what I enjoy about them.
And Trooper Samu also creates his own costumes and has memorized around 75 songs for the Elvis gig. This is a wild story out of Chicago. A Good Samaritan jumps into action when he sees a man with a gun on the city's train system. A passenger filmed the intense moments as the robber was disarmed. Ben Bradley reports.
When John Paul LaPierre saw a man robbing CTA riders on their way to the Chicago Marathon, he didn't sit idly by.
Get down out of the ground!
Look close. That's a gun LaPierre took away from the robber in red. This all started as the train was stopped at Cumberland and riders were rushing for the doors.
He said, this doesn't seem the right way. He says, no, there's a guy on the train with a gun walking around right now robbing people. So that kind of made me mad.
He went back on the train and confronted the man entirely on his own. The confrontation caused concern among some passengers.
Please don't make this any worse.
Okay, you give me a police officer right now.
LaPierre asked for help handling the gun.
Put the safety on that gun on here.
Honey, I have no idea how to do that. Let me hear your hands.
Somebody put the safety on that gun. I'm a boxer. I'll break your head in one punch.
Just a few hours later, and after finishing the marathon himself, LaPierre told our Shannon Halligan the alleged robber had friends on the train.
They started threatening me, but I just stood stern-faced, and the guy kept saying to me, it's just the gun, let me go, let me go. And I kept telling him, you're not going anywhere.
I don't give a
A marathon runner who was threatened moments earlier and provided this video to WGN says she's thankful LaPierre was there. He didn't hesitate to step in at all. It was incredible to see because everyone else just sat there frozen. The 54-year-old runs a storage facility in the Boston area. He says he's used to tough guys. Golden Gloves boxing in his youth
Black belt in karate. I have no problem breaking your neck.
armed him
No problem breaking your neck.
for this encounter.
You know, incidents happen all over, you know.
Despite the standoff on the CTA, LaPierre says he loves Chicago.
It's one of the best cities I've ever visited.
Wow, and this was his 12th Chicago Marathon. Despite taking down a robber on his way to the starting line, he says he's looking forward to coming back to the city and running again. Stay with us. We've got a better look at what's in your baby's food and your favorite dessert right after this. Some important information now for mothers with babies. A new investigative study has revealed that toxic heavy metals are found in many foods marketed for babies. We're talking about lead, arsenic, and mercury. 168 baby foods from major manufacturers were tested, and 95% contain lead, 73% contain arsenic, 75% contain cadmium, and 32% they say contain mercury. Even in trace amounts, those chemicals are linked to impaired brain development in children. The worst offenders were baby foods made with rice, sweet potatoes, and fruit juices. Physicians suggest pureed vegetables, salmon, peanut butter, oatmeal, and avocado as safe baby foods as an alternative. And how about some food for the big kids and adults? You love them and you just can't resist them, but why? It seems you have to have superhero level self-control to turn down a chocolate chip cookie, and Reed Binion has more on the reasons behind that.
Warm, gooey, fresh out of the oven chocolate chip cookies. Is there anything that can make you salivate more? Well, there may actually be a scientific reason for that drool. Research suggests that the ingredients in chocolate chip cookies not only create a perfectly harmonious flavor, but they also blend to create a perfectly addictive treat. One of the main ingredients, sugar, is shown to induce cravings and can trigger some of the same addictive responses as cocaine. And using a traditional recipe, each cookie could have about 2.5 teaspoons of sugar, not to mention the high-fat hit from the creamy butter. Then, of course, there's the chocolate, which contains small amounts of a compound that triggers the same parts of your brain as the addictive ingredient in marijuana, THC. But beyond the science, there's the emotional attachment. For many of us, the smell or sight of chocolate chip cookies can conjure up memories from a place or time long ago. Maybe it's grandma's kitchen or a birthday party. Whatever the reason, there's no denying that these treats are deliciously addictive. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
All right, one last thing before we head to break. Do you have a story idea or something you feel we should cover? There's an easy way you can do that by heading on over to WBKO.com and clicking that Submit a Story link on the right-hand corner of the page. We'll be right back. So it looks like you're going to have to be trading in this nice jacket of yours for a winter coat tonight. Yeah,
if you don't like cold temperatures, yes, you definitely want that fur coat. For me, I'm going to go with a light jacket for tonight. We're going to drop down around 38 tonight. But heading into your Friday, a lot of sunshine in store, 67 for your high. Saturday, that only 20% chance of rain is mainly to our south and east. I think really for the homecoming game, we're going to stay on the fairly sunny side. A few clouds.
I hope so. That sounds great. That sounds great. Thanks for joining us here on 13 News at 4. More of your local news in just 30 minutes.